Hello, I'm Mrs. Charity. Welcome to the Glorious Heritage Overview of Catholic Church History. Discover the amazing story of the Church together as a family as you color and paste your way through the timeline and printables, which you can find on our website. And now let's move into our topic for today.
Hello, I'm Mr. Charity, and welcome to the Glorious Heritage Catholic History video series. Today's topic is 116, Queen Elizabeth I. If you look on your timeline and summary question sheets, you'll notice that we are in the green time period, which we have named Revolt. If you don't have a timeline or summary question sheets, you can find them on our website. Do you remember that the Kingdom of England broke away from the Catholic Church in the mid-1500s? Do you remember that King Henry VIII declared that he was the new head of the Church in England? Of course, the Catholic Church only has one head, and that is the Pope. So King Henry VIII was mistaken to say that he was the head of the Church. However, he did start a new heretical sect, which became known as Anglicanism. In the following years, this new heretical sect made up a new rite which they substituted for the Holy Mass. England, which was a Catholic kingdom for over 1,000 years, had now become a Protestant kingdom. Henry VIII had a daughter named Elizabeth. In 1558, she became the new queen and ruler of England. Elizabeth I continued her father's apostasy from the Catholic faith. She didn't want to have multiple religions in her kingdom, so she made laws that required all English subjects to attend the new Anglican Church. At first, she was somewhat tolerant of Catholics, who were allowed to have private masses in their homes, but she didn't allow any Catholic churches to remain open. It wasn't just the Catholic Church that didn't obey Queen Elizabeth I. After having been Protestant for a couple decades, new Protestant groups arose in England as well. A group of Calvinists, known as the Puritans, began to attract many followers in England. You probably have already heard of the Puritans. They are famous for landing at Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts. Elizabeth I did not like the Puritans nor the Catholics. She contrived a new slogan for her persecution of Catholics and Puritans, which was called the Middle Way. She falsely claimed that Catholics were too extreme on one side, and then she claimed that Puritans were too extreme on the other side. She said that her heretical sect of Anglicanism was the correct and middle way, and she required everyone to become an Anglican. In 1570, the Holy Pope St. Pius V issued a papal bull named Regnans in Excelsis, in which he formally excommunicated Queen Elizabeth. To excommunicate someone means to cut them off from the Catholic Church. He publicly declared her to be a heretic, and then he declared that she was no longer the rightful Queen of England, and that all English subjects should not obey her anymore. Now this made Queen Elizabeth very angry. She intensified her persecution of Catholics, particularly of priests. She made it a crime to be a Catholic priest in England, punishable by death or imprisonment. She sent spies all throughout England to hunt down and identify Catholic priests who were either hiding or in disguise. These holy priests would risk their lives, secretly traveling to the private homes of Catholics to say Mass and hear confessions. Many of these poor priests were discovered and murdered by Queen Elizabeth. One priest in particular gave her a very difficult time. There was a young man named Edmund Campion, who used to be one of her favorite speakers. He was asked to speak in front of her, and she was impressed by his ability. Edmund Campion made a trip to Ireland, where he converted to the Catholic faith. He joined a Jesuit seminary and was ordained a priest, secretly returning to England to spread and defend the faith. He escaped capture for some time, but was eventually caught. Elizabeth had him tortured and brought before a court to be convicted. But at his trial, he made such an excellent defense of the Catholic faith that his accusers were unable to respond. He was put to death and is now known as the martyr Blessed Edmund Campion. One would think that after all of the evil things that Queen Elizabeth had done, that she would be very unpopular. But the opposite is true. Among English Protestants, she is known as Good Queen Bess. However, among Catholics, she is known to be an excommunicated heretic and a persecutor of the faith. Okay, now Mrs. Charity will tell you about the sad defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588.
Hello, I am Mrs. Charity. The Catholic Kingdom of Spain was very displeased with Queen Elizabeth I and her Protestantism. In 1588, the King of Spain sent a very powerful fleet of warships, known as the Spanish Armada, to England to attack the English and reconquer England. The Spanish wanted England to become Catholic again. At the time, the Spanish Armada was the most powerful naval fleet in the world. Queen Elizabeth responded by hiring a pirate named Francis Drake. She gave him some ships, which were smaller and faster, and sent him to meet the Spanish Armada. The result was one of the greatest tragedies of the 16th century. The Spanish Armada was defeated, and any hope of England becoming Catholic again sunk with the Spanish ships.
Welcome back. Now let me tell you a short story about the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. In the year of our Lord, 1588, the Spanish Armada, a fleet blessed by His Holiness Pope Sixtus V, set sail with a grave mission to restore the true faith to England. King Philip II of Spain, a Catholic, believed it was his duty to overthrow the Protestant Queen of England, Elizabeth I, and bring England back into the fold of Holy Mother Church. The Armada, a magnificent sight with its grand ships and trained sailors, was seen as an instrument of God's will. The faithful across Spain prayed for its success, believing that God would guide their ships to victory. The fleet, led by the valiant Duke of Medina Sidonia, carried not only soldiers but also priests, ready to celebrate Mass and administer the sacraments once England was reclaimed. However, as the Armada approached the English Channel, it faced fierce resistance from the English Navy. The Protestant forces, though smaller in number, were cunning and well prepared. They launched fire ships into the heart of the Spanish fleet, causing chaos and destruction. The winds, which had been favorable, turned against the Armada, scattering the ships and driving them into the treacherous waters of the North Sea. Despite their bravery and determination, the Spanish soldiers could not overcome the combined might of the English Navy and the unforgiving winds. Many ships were sunk and countless lives were lost. The defeat was a bitter blow to Catholic Spain, and the faithful mourned the loss of it deeply. Spain would not launch another attack on England, and Protestantism grew and spread around the world through English colonies. Well, that's all for today. Make sure to come back next time, and we'll talk about another sad topic, the Kingdom of Scotland, which is north of England, and how it became Calvinist. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. Visit our website, www.gloriousheritagecartoons.com, where you can find more educational supplements, cartoons, books, and printables. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to get notified of our latest updates and videos. And if you like our work and want to support us, you can make a donation on our website or on Patreon. We really appreciate your generosity and kindness. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, and see you next time.